All right, if you have not yet been to the Rand Easter Show, then this year you should make your way to the Grand Festival. The Rand Show is a true iconic South African brand, a brand that's touched the lives of generations of South Africans. It is also the largest event of its kind on the continent. As per usual, the South African National Defence Force is also presenting an explosive arena display, of course, at this year's show with fighter jets, helicopters and simulated explosions, as well as some gunfire. The SANDF will also present a massive 10,000 SQM exhibition of equipment and vehicles as well. But to tell us more about what to expect this year, we're joined by the CEO, Craig Newman, as well as SANDF Head of Communications, Sipiwe Dlamini. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for coming through.
Good morning to you. Morning, police.
And I was saying to you earlier on that every time when I mention the Rand Easter Show, I get so excited because I remember I used to travel with my parents from Ficksburg to Johannesburg just for this event.
Yes.
And I still get that excitement every time when I mention it.
Yeah, me too. I also get excited every year for the Rand
So I'm not
Show.
the only one.
But, you know, a milestone for the Rand Show is Rand Show will be celebrating 125 years next year.
Sure.
So this year's 124 years of the Rand Show.
Yeah.
And we still get excited about it.
But how do you keep it relevant? 125 years of existence next year?
Yeah, you know, we spend a lot of time and effort listening to our visitors and asking our visitors what they want to see and what would they like improved and what do they want to see the next year back again. So we implement a lot at the Rand Show based on information we get from our visitors.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, and it's a family-orientated event.
Yes. Family. It's all
yeah.
about family. I say every year, it's the only event that I attend in this country or see in this country where you see so many prams available. You know, so that just tells you the whole family is coming out to spend a day at the Rand Show.
Yeah, and the SANDF has always been part of this. I remember last year you opened with a bang. Talk to us about your preparations for this year.
Yes, we've actually recently signed a 3-year partnership with the Rand Easter Show. And interestingly, our focus this year will be on the little ones. Because as Craig says, we listen carefully to what the public says, and the research points out that there's a lot of interest on little children wanting to hold a gun and climb onto our trucks and see this and the other. So this year we will be focusing mainly on the little ones with little obstacles for them and probably dress them up as little soldiers and paint them.
Oh, my word. That's interesting. That's very
nice.
interesting. I'm bringing my son. I'm definitely bringing him this year. But why is it important for you to sort of showcase what you have to offer? You and I were having a conversation about what the SANDF also has in February, Armed Forces Day.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's much more different from what you display at the Rand Easter Show.
Yeah, the main difference between Armed Forces Day and the Rand Show is that Armed Forces Day is where we acknowledge our men and women in uniform, past and present, those that have left us. And the appreciation that these young women and men have given their lives to the South African Republic. But at the Rand Easter Show, we're exposing the responsibilities and the mandate of the SANDF in terms of what they do, what we are mandated to do, and what the public is made aware of through education. Mm-hmm. So mainly a Rand Show is exposing ourselves to the public and interacting directly with the public and engaging ourselves with the public so that they know exactly and can ask the relevant questions that we might not be able to pick up on what they want to know about the SANDF. So the Rand Show offers us a very brilliant platform because the audience is already there. And we come in there to interact with them. So it's a good platform for us to showcase ourselves.
It certainly is, because you also have to show your humanitarian side of things,
yes.
what you do on that as well.
In many instances, the public only sees the guns and mortars and aggression. Mm. And yet we do have the softer side of ourselves, like we're going to be playing with children this year.
That's the first day. I don't know how comfortable they will be, but yeah. It will happen. Now, the highlights really, you've been with the Rand Easter Show for the past 20 years, as you were telling me. What are your highlights if you're looking back to the previous events?
Yeah, so besides the normal attractions, you know, we have the festival stage and lots of kiddies attractions. We got some really interesting new events this year, one being the Flower and Garden Show at the Rand Show. That a highlight for that, we will be showcasing the newly launched Nelson Mandela Rose between the Nelson Mandela Foundation and Keith Kirsten, but lots of other flower displays on show. We're introducing Experience India that will focus on spices and materials.
So you bring some curry.
And curry, yeah, but also they have a complete stage program that will run for 10 days regarding entertainment. And our biggest highlight this year is the House of Horrors. We're introducing the House of Horrors. It's an authentic horror experience, nothing like the past, you know, not your Walt Disney House of Horrors with Frankenstein and Dracula. This is more a realistic view on nightmares that people would experience on a day-to-day basis. There is an age restriction on that, you know, so no kids under 13 would be able to go into the House of Horrors. And if you're 13 to 16, you need to be accompanied by parents because it is quite an experience. But we believe that this is going to be another great attraction to the Rand Show over the next 3 years.
Well, we believe so. So this year it's happening from the 30th of March until the 8th of April.
That's correct. Opens Good Friday, 30th of March, and it will run to the following weekend. So all people who are away over the Easter weekend can still get to experience the Rand Show the weekend after.
All right. I'm most definitely visiting you guys this year. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thanks for hosting us this morning.
Thank you so much indeed. The Rand Show is an annual show held in Johannesburg, as we said, here in South Africa, and it is the largest consumer exhibition in Southern Africa. This year, it will be happening from the 30th of March to the 8th of April, which will be on Sunday. So make sure that you do take your little ones for that beautiful experience. We're taking a quick break here on Morning Live. One more item before we say goodbye.